Sri Radhe. So today I want to start to talk about association, how to find association among Vaishnavas, because it's a very difficult situation. Association, there's too much association. Yeah, okay. There's too much association available. There's so many YouTube preachers and so many lectures and so many live lectures and so many people speaking, ladies, devotees speaking, men, devotees speaking, and they're all very handsome and very pretty and beautiful, they wear nice clothes and they're attractive. And how to choose which ones are the best ones for me to be with, and which ones are going to be most beneficial for my cause. It gets very bewildering, because one of the biggest questions I've had asked to me the last 35 years since I've been here, and since 1987, people always say, "Can you recommend association? Who should we associate with?" They say, "What about this one? What about that one?" So I give them a suggestion. They say, "Oh, I went there, I don't like it. I went there, I don't like it." So I said, "Well, you figure it out yourself." But Radha Swami gives us a nice definition here in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. And this is old edition here. Yeah, whatever. So, oh yeah, it's a little old. The cracks, papers crack by turning. And this is verse 91, first wave, second chapter, verse 91, about sadhana bhakti. And he describes what should we look for when associating with devotees. He says, Shajati Ashye Snigde Sadho Sangha Svatovare. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4 terms here that we should understand. First is Sajati. So what sadhu should I hear from? I should hear from somebody who's a Gaudiya Vaisnava, because I'm a Gaudiya Vaisnava. I'm interested in Gaudiya Vaishnavism. There's many good sadhus, many people worship Radharani and Krishna, like we worship Radharani and Krishna, but maybe not exactly like we do, because they have a different angle, the Sakhi Bhav. We have Manjari Bhav, it's special, go to a special angle of worship. Bhav Taratmya with Radharani and Tat Bhav Ichatmika, different Bhav we have, Manjari Bhav. So the first thing is Sajati, is he or she the sadhu or sadhvi that I'm listening to, are they Gaudiya Vaishnava? But now first you get in focus Gaudiya Vaishnavas, then you have to change from 50 power to 100 power to 300 power, and look more and more closely at that Gaudiya Vaishnava, and say, what kind of Gaudiya Vaishnavism are they representing? Because it's a wide gamut, there's a wide variety of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. There's what's commonly called traditional Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and modern or novo or neo modern Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So there's major differences between traditional Gaudiya Vaishnavas and modern Gaudiya Vaishnavas. And the differences are primarily in Prayojan, Siddhanta, Prayojan, and Maryada. Behavior, proper standards for behavior, and certain arrogance and pride and different things you have to examine. Because what we want to find, what we want to hear from a Gaudiya Vaishnava, the most represents the qualities that Lord Chaitanya emphasized. Lord Chaitanya emphasized Srinadapi Sunichena Toriva Sishna Amanina Amanidena Kirtana Hari. So that's sadhvi or that's sadhu, Gaudiya sadhu or sadhvi that we hear from. They should be very humble and very prideless and very respectful to all. So if you hear from them and associate with them, understand where their mentality is. Mentality, attitude, and behavior, this comes under Maryada. Way of conduct, way of behavior. It's very important because you take on the qualities, like the analogy Acharyas used, like a crystal. Crystal is like clear glass with many facets and angles, and it takes on the color of whatever object's nearby it. So when you associate with the sadhu, you take on his mental qualities, and you take on his mental qualities and his spiritual qualities and his emotional qualities. In other words, you take his bhav, and you take his bhakti, and you take his kripa, but you take his maryada, you take his conduct behavior also. If you're a ruffian type devotee, then you'll have ruffian type disciples. Like one guru, he was famous, I won't say his name, ISKCON guru. Whenever his devotees go on traveling Sankirtan, they would say, oh, we better lock everything out. These guys are staying over in the temple tonight. They're going to rob everything. They'll rob all our lockers. They'll rob us blind. These are devotee traveling brahmacharis from one famous guru traveling around Europe. He said, so-and-so's disciples are staying here for 3 days doing Sankirtan in different countries. So lock everything up. Before they did everything locked up. So this sajati, so it becomes, as you change the focus, the object in your microscope gets more and more clear. When you first look like it looks like a blob of red. Then you change the focus and increase the magnification from 50 power, 100 power, 200 power. You say, whoa. Then she just, see that thing, that's a vacuole, that's a mitochondria, that's a this and that, wow, all this stuff's going on, yeah. Because they show you a picture of a blood cell. And the more you look closer at it, the more amazing things you see in there. All kinds of things going on there. So the same thing with a Vaishnava. The closer you inspect, the more you can see what's going on in there. What's going on in their heart, what's going on in their mind, what's going on in their aspiration, what is their aspiration, what is their objective, what is their source of presentation, what is their authenticity, what is their authorization. It's difficult. It takes a lot of fine-tuning, a lot of prayer. You have to pray a lot to make the final choices, narrow it down to which sadhus you want to hear. But, our acharyas, they give us very special things to consider. So first thing, sajati. So that means same family. Jati means family. Same family. Okay, I'm only Gaudiya Vaishnavas over here. And then what type of Siddhanta do you want to hear? Because if you hear from modern Gaudiya Vaishnavas, you hear if you're a modified Siddhanta with lots of innovations, which you don't find in traditional Siddhanta. That we were in the spiritual world, we fell from the spiritual world. We don't find it anywhere in Goswami books. That prema is in the heart of Jiva. We don't find that in Goswami books. That the stairati, permanent stairati is in the heart of Jiva. We don't find that in any of the Goswami books. So there's very key points of Siddhanta. That's why I said that maybe the same Gaudiya Vaishnava, we have to check out what is the Siddhanta, what is the prayojan. Prayojan means the goal, and what is the maryada, the behavior of the individual, and the individuals associated with him. Because, mangoes make mango trees. They don't make cactus trees. Mangoes make mango trees. So the guru is a mango, he should make mango trees. And the disciples should become also mangoes. Sweet and colorful and tasty and attractive. Shiny, it smells nice too. So the first thing he says, sajati, then ashe. Ashe means asha. Asha means this devotee, he's a Gaudiya Vaishnava, he has the same asha, he has the same aspiration that I have. This is a key point, a very key point. Because, a lot of you say, if you're interested in Gaudiya Vaishnavism, the general asha, almost all Gaudiya Vaishnavas, is become a Maidsa Radharani. That's the desire. So if your guru is not talking anything about that, or even downplaying that, or speaking against that, then you say, Jai, Om Tat Sat, thanks a lot. Go on down the road to the next mat, the next mandir, and knock on the door. Hello, what is it? What is the Siddhanta here? What is the Priyojana here? Priyojana, sell books, man. Go back to God. Okay, that sounds nice. Well, hello, what is the Priyojana here? Priyojana here is to develop prem for Radha and Krishna, become a prem sevika, become a prem seva of Radha and Krishna, especially become a manjri, gopi of Radharani, become a manjri. Acha, very interesting. Yeah, you teach that here? Yeah, we try to teach that here. You follow that? Yeah. Okay, let me sit down. Plenty of seats, there's a lot more room we can have here. Not too many people coming. One Gaudiya Vaisnava used to say, they're preaching to the mass, I'm preaching to the class. This is a Gaudiya Vaisnava speaking about another Gaudiya mission. A little bold, but anyway. The mass also has class. There's 4 varnas, there's 4 ashrams. So even the mass has some class. Anyway, it has another implication. So, asha should have the same ambition, desire. Like, well, first you meet a guru and say, what is the goal? If I become your student, what is the goal you want me to attain? That's the first thing I should ask. What is the goal that you want me to attain? If I study with you, what do you want to convey to me? What do you want to teach to me? And then he tells you the prayojana. Then you say, what's your means of attaining that? How am I going to attain that goal? What are you going to teach me? He says, I'm going to teach you Rag Marg, Rag Bhakti. What is Rag Bhakti? Sit down, open your notebook. Open your ears, open your heart. So that narrows down the choices. Sajati, Ashe, Snigde. Snigde comes from the word sneha. Sneha means moist affection. Slippery. Sneha means slippery, oily. The word sneha means oily affection, glossy, snigda. So snigda means that the Guru has affection for me. You feel the Guru has love for me. He has care for me. That's only you can know. You can't ask somebody else, does Gurudev like me? It's like some girl has to ask some girlfriend, does this guy like me? If you don't know, who's going to know? If you can't tell, you better find somebody else, You got to ask me, that's not the one. So you should, that's subjective, that's your personal experience. I feel affection, that this Guru has affection for me, has care for me. That's a big thing, actually. And then it says Sarasanga, and then Swatovare. Swatovare means better, like Govardhan. Vardhan means better, expanded. Swatovare means he's more advanced than I. I mean, he or she is more advanced in devotional scale in terms of awareness of tattva and maybe ras and bhakti in general. I have some notes here. Swatovare. If a devotee hears from a devotee who's more advanced than you are in knowledge, tattva and bhajan, then by hearing Hari Katha from that person, a taste of devotion will be injected into your heart. This is a comment by Anantadas Babaji Maharaj on this verse. So that's why I want to hear from a more advanced devotee, because the devotion of his heart becomes injected. Because injected, everyone's getting jab, the famous jab, corona jab. No thanks, but but you get injected with the Guru's bhakti, with the Guru's joy, with his happiness. Because when you're sangha, we say sarasanga, sangha sa anga. Sangha means mixing my limb, my anga means anga means my body. So the highest definition of Sangha is man and woman joined together in one loving union. That's also called Sangha. That's the man and woman union is Sangha. The same word is there. The mixing of bodies and minds and hearts, hopefully everything is there together. So Sangha means mixing. It doesn't just mean plopping down in your butt in a classroom and listening to. You're supposed to mix your physical anga and your mental anga and your heart anga. These are all parts of the identity of the jiva. We have a mind, we have a heart, and we have a body. We sit down in your body, but your heart's not mixing with the heart of the Vaishnava. Your mind's not mixing, not sangha. Sangha means with my body, my anga. My heart with your heart, my mind with your mind, my body with your mind. So many bodies come and sit in front of the sadhu and listen to Katha. It goes, when you're, and when it passes through, it makes you go to sleep. Then it's over, they go, Jai, and you go, Jai. Nashta Preshu Vajreshu Nityam Bhavata Sevya Bhagavatam Sukhe Bhakti Bhakti. No. Narayana Namaskar Nanshaya Narotana Devan Susan Udiraya. Jayam Udiraya. Everyone should loudly say Jai. The Bhagavatam is Jai, and Nararishi are Jai, and Vyasmuni is Jai, and Saraswati is Jai. And the Bhagavatam itself is Jai, because we say, Nashtapreshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevya Bhagavad Yutamashoke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishaki. Mixing up. Narayanam, the verse is, I'll mix another. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottam Devan Sarasatam Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayat. So Jiva Goswami gives a big teek on why to say Jayam. Because Jaya means that this book means all glory to this book, Bhagavatam. The book Bhagavatam will give us Jaya, give us victory over birth and death, victory over samsara. The Prabhupada said our very means of conquest. He translated, it's not a bad translation. Jaya means our very means of conquest. But this Jiva Goswami says the Jai means Jai, the Bhagavatam ki Jai. Grantaraj Bhagavatam ki Jai. We say Jai because this book gives victory over birth and death. Anyway, that's another point. So the sadhu should be affectionate to us and more advanced than us. So this is the thing. Sajati, Asha, Snigdha, and Satovare. So when you're choosing association, the sadhu, the guru, the sadhvi, the sadhu, they should be exponents and representatives of what you want to attain in your spiritual life. It's like, every four-legged creature is an animal, but not every animal. A cow is an animal, but not every animal is a cow. So there's so many sadhus, so many Gaudiya Vaisnava sadhus. Like I go on the net sometimes, and I listen to everyone, and I say, wow, they're saying so much different than what I'm saying. I just like to listen to what other people are talking about. And it's so different. Everyone has their own flavor and their own angle. So I was realizing, I said, wow, good luck, trying to find a sadhu. Yeah, no, just saying, forget all the Gaudiya sadhus, just let me listen to Sadhguru or Ravi Shankar or some Mayavadi and get some kind of gyan, yoga conception. But this is the methodology of selection, sadhu selection. And that pretty much, if you use this standard of narrowing down Sajati and then Asha. Like I used to associate with some Gaudiya Math sannyasis. They were very learned, very rasic, but they didn't have much affection for me. I would go there, I'd sit down, they wouldn't notice me or anything. And another Gaudiya Math sannyasi I used to go see, as soon as I entered the room, even though there was a Sangha going on, not a class, it was like this, a Sangha in the afternoon in his temple. And all his disciples are there, and I come in late, and I just come in the room, and I sit in the back, and he would see me, he said, oh, Mahanidhi, he'd see me and make, hello, what are you sitting back there for? I said, I came late, I don't want to make a disturbance. No, come here, come in front. So I said, I come 1 foot further. He was like over there, I just come. No, come here. Hey, you're out of the way, out of the way. So he'd make everybody go out of the way, he'd sit me right in front of me. You say you have any questions? He knows I always have like a long list of questions. I fall in my pocket, And then I said, no, all these devotees are here. They're from Italy, and he had many Italian devotees, Spanish, and they're all in Vrindavan meeting him, so it's Kartik, a special time. So I said, I live here up the street. I can come here anytime. You ask, no, they what do you have? You ask. They don't. You just speak. I said, okay, so I asked one. He said, you have any more? I said, I have a lot. He said, just ask. So everybody's looking, all the disciples are looking at me, you guys, what can I do? The Guru is favoring me. This is Snigdha. And the other sannyasi I go and see wouldn't even notice me. He'd come and go, or live or die, what do I care, He's seeing Hari Katha. So, and they're both very advanced. They're both sannyasis, both gurus, both very advanced devotees, but a completely different personal experience I have with each one. So that personal experience opens the doorway to bhakti, opens the doorway to lots of advancement, because it binds the heart. As you have a personal experience with a sadhu, your heart gets captured. If your heart gets captured by a sadhu, it can't get captured by Maya. Those witches of Maya, Dakinis, Durga's Dakinis. Remember, rock the beach. Next time you walk down to your local supermarket and see those shiny carrots, in a couple of months you say, oh, the big carrots. Oh, No carrots. Anyway, that's all I want to say about association. It's just like you see people when they get rice in a village, they have a little basket and they throw it up and down looking for stones. If they find stones, they throw out the stones. They don't want to chew on the stones when they cook the rice. It's called winnowing or whatever, some term for it. They flip out the rice and they flip out the stones. So when the same thing with satsang, you have to go through, you have to examine. It's just, because from day one, you have to pick, like you pick the right wife, then you have a good life. You pick the wrong wife, you have a bad life. So the same thing, you pick the sadhu, first you have to define your personal goals. It sounds like some master class or something. I'm not giving you a master class or how to be success class. I'm just talking about how to have sadhu sangha. You have to define what are your personal goals in spiritual life, and what gurus are meeting those goals. Like someone approached me, and they're Indian. They speak Hindi and everything. And I said, why don't you go here and there? I said, well, I went here and there, but I don't know why, but I'm attracted to Raghunath Das Goswami. I said, okay, great. So all Gaudiya Vaisnavas, we worship Rupa Raghunath. What's your problem? No, but Raghunath Goswami, he's going to wait to Parivar. I said, well, yeah, but it's not, Ananta Das, everybody here is in Nityananda Parivar, they all worship Raghunath Das Goswami. Tulsi Manjari, and glorify him and worship him and so many things. It doesn't mean if you're in one Parivar, you can't worship, the 6 Goswamis. No, somehow I'm drawn to Raghunath Das Goswami. So I want to be with you because you're in a way to Parivar and he's in a way to Parivar. I said, that's really strange. So anyway, I said, okay, whatever, how it works, I don't know. I try to explain, I said, this isn't a very logical arrangement. He said, well, nobody else, everyone else around here is Nityananda Parivar, Gadadhar Parivar, Raghunath Bhatta Parivar, but they're not so much connected with Raghunath Das. I said, okay. Here's my requirements for Diksha. I sent him a paper now. I haven't heard him for a long time. It's like a long list of books and lectures that they're reading here. I'll get a call in a few years. Remember me? Oh, yeah, I finished the requirements. Oh, really? Oh, that was part one. What? Yeah, I didn't tell you. I was just saying part one. There's part two also. So anyway, take your time, and then when you find the right thing, because actually there's one of my books in my required reading is called the Guru Book. It's by Shukadeva Goswami, who is a descendant of Nityananda. He wrote a book in 1800s, 1875 or something. And we did us translate it, gave me a copy of it in 1988 or so. I gave a bunch of classes on it that are recorded on SoundCloud on my website also, called Guru Tattva. I'm reading from the book, and it's all questions and answers. It's like from 1780 or 1820, old book. It's a very, very good book. But he says it doesn't matter the stature of the Guru. The stature of the Guru doesn't matter. If you have faith in any Guru, you'll get the perfection. Yesterday, Prabhakta, that verse is there. That's the faith in Krishna Guru gives you success. Then he explained there's famous Siddha Bhaktas. They're famous, recognized Siddha Gaudiya Vaisnavas, and nobody knows anything about their Guru. Don't even know the name of the Guru. Madhusudan Das Babaji was in Surya Kund. He's a famous Siddha Mahatma. It's written in Saints of Braj by O.B.L. Kapoor and is recognized. It's in 1870, 1780, whatever. Madhusudan Das Baba. And he met his guru in Vrindavan, and his guru told him mantra and it disappeared, never saw him again. Just like Brihad Bhavatamrita. And Jaya Das Babaji, he is one of the four Siddha Krishnadas of Vrindavan. He is from Bimala Kund and Kamyavan. He met his guru, and guru gave him mantra, diksha, and disappeared. Doesn't know anything about his guru. These are two famous siddhas. Now you go in ISKCON and Gaudiya Math, IGM, we say, and you see Vamshi Das Babaji. Vamshi Das Babaji is initiated by some Brijvasi named Hari Lal Brijvasi. Nobody knows anything about him, married or whatever. And Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj is initiated by Jagadish Goswami. He's a married Goswami. He's just a married person, Goswami. No particular distinction about him. And then Kishore Das Babaji, according to most Gaudiya Vaishnava historians and whatnot, Kishore was initiated by Nanda Kishore Goswami in a way to Parivar. And then Jagannath Das. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur was initiated by Vivid Vihari Goswami, who is Nityananda Parivar, a Grihastha Goswami family. So these are all recognized siddhas and famous Mahabhagavats in IGM, and none of them have siddha gurus. So you don't need a siddha, because there's a misnomer propagated by Gaudiya Math, especially Sri Maharaj, was saying, if you don't have a siddha guru, you can't attain perfection. But then who's Vamshi Das Babaji? Who's Jagannath Das Babaji? Who's Kishore Das Babaji? Who's Bhaktivinoda Thakur? None of them have Grihastha gurus of unknown distinction. So it has nothing to do with the guru. The mantra itself has power, and Brihad Bhavatamrita explains that, and other verses explains that. And the guru is representative of Krishna. In the 7th canto of Bhagavatam, 7th canto, chapter 15, verse 26, says, yes, Sakshat Bhagavati. The guru is Sakshat Bhagavan. And then in Vishnu's commentaries, and Vallabhacharya's commentaries, and Sri Goswami's commentaries, and Jiva Goswami's commentaries, they all say this guru is not like Bhagavatam, it's not like Bhagavan. Guru is directly Bhagavan, because it says, yes, Sakshat Bhagavati. It says, yes, Sakshat Bhagavati, it says the guru. Guru is directly Bhagavan. Maybe this is the basis for the Guru Vastam of Vishnu Chakravarti. Sakshat Ritvi Natsamasastastra. Of course, the Guru has a human side because there's 2 verses in the Bhagavatam and also Mahabharata say one should not see the human side of the Guru. If you see the human side, it's a fall down. The Guru gets sick and he gets a cold and he has to take Hajmal or has to take Hing to digest his food or whatever. It doesn't, but that doesn't count. What counts is he's directly Bhagavan. It doesn't matter big guru, small guru, Grihastha guru, Goswami guru, Babaji guru. The guru is guru. So these are some points when we make selections for sadhu sangha. Radha Sadhu Sangha, how to choose association. Title. Rastavama Sukontaya. Rastavama Sukontaya.
हाँ, रसम सुकोंतेया प्रभास में सची सूर ही होगा
Or?
प्रणव सर्व वेदेश शब्द के पौरुषम
He's also a Brahmin. Sadhini Brahmin. He's a Brahmin, Mr. Mishra. This is Mr. Mishra. This is Mr. Sagar. Sagar?
दीपक
What's Sagar? Who's Sagar?
विश्व दीपक
No Sagar? Your whole name is Vishwadeepak?
my brothers
Your brother's Sagar. That's so. You have any last name?
yeah
What is it?
it's
Your village name or something?
yes
What is that name?
Chittella
Sitala? Sitala Devi?
Chittella it is the name of the village
The goddess of smallpox or what? Are you a Jyotishi? Do you know Jyotish? I want to ask you when the rain's coming. Can you make a prediction when the rain comes? They say when you make things hot enough, then the fire comes. Water comes, you know. Like your body gets hot, water starts coming out of your body, you know. So we want the water to come out of the earth and out of the ocean and come on our head. The rain. Okay, let's ask a question. Who's going to ask it? Muralik is going to ask the question in Russian, and I'm going to understand what she's saying. Or Italian, ask the question in Italian. No Italian question? Russian question? No. No. Baba, you have any questions back there, Baba?
Yeah, I have one question.
Okay, great.
In Govinda Lila Amrita, the 9 kunjas are explained, and the description of the Lita kunj is quite long, and then the other ones are quite short. Is there any reason why the other one? And one more thing, it's a little confusing on one aspect. The author, Kasturi Manjari, serves in Sudevi's kunj, but he makes the biggest description of Lita's kunj, So then this is a little interesting. I wonder if you have any comments.
Yeah. Well, Lita's questions about Govinda Lila Amrita describing the kunjas around Radha Kunda, also Sakhi kunjas, the Nagamandri's kunj in the center, which makes 9 kunjas, which he rightly described. Why is it so much description of Lita's kunj? Because Lita is the primary Sakhi. So Kasturi Manjari, the author is Kasturi Manjari, is Krishna's Kaviraj. He wants to show his respect and his honor to Lita Devi, to give further embellishment and description of her kunja. Because Lita's, she has, just like if you're the prime minister, you have a better house than the CM has. You have a bigger house. So in the social hierarchy of Sakis, the Lita's number one. You know, I'm the biggest, and I have the biggest, baddest kunj. I got a 3-story mandir with 16 rooms and 32 rooms. I got a 128 room mandir. You know, it's like 3 stories high. It's 60 rooms and 8 rooms and 16. It's an unbelievable palace. And it's a lot of opulence, a lot of opulent things in Lita's kunj you see describing Govinda Lamrita. And next kunj that's most described is Vishaka's kunj, because she's number 2 Saki. So her description of her kunj is a lot less than Lita, but more than all the other ones. All the other ones just said, oh, her kunj is green, everything's green. Her kunj is red, everything's red. Her kunj is yellow, everything's yellow. There's not much of the other one. But one thing what I appreciate about Vishaka's kunj, it's very natural. It says she has a gate. There's a gate to the kunj, and the gate's made with bamboo, and it's all vines in there. And bees are hovering around the gate. As gatekeepers are buzzing bees. Anyway, it comes there to disturb the bees, will sting the crap out of you. Know? And it just says there's one statue in the middle of Vishaka's kunj, or some lotus-shaped statue or something. Very natural. There's 4 big champak trees in the 4 directions. It talks about trees and vines. And so this is our Vishaka kunj annex here. Chota Vishaka kunj. We have about 6-8 champak trees in the south, in the north, in the east and west. So we like this natural, we like Vishaka's kunj more. So I haven't read any description why the elaborate discussion of Lita, other than she's in the social hierarchy, she's the number 1. So this is the Indian culture. They always glorify the master more than anyone else. So Kasturi Manjari, Krishna's Kaviraj, is glorifying. Although Ananga Manjari's kunj is very significant, there's not much mention about Ananga Manjari. She has an island in the middle of Radha Kunda. It's pretty extraordinary. But I can't say more than that. Just reminds everybody, Lalita's the biggest, she's the best, she's the biggest, she's the best, she got the biggest, the best kunj. Don't anybody forget Lalita. I'm Lalita. I can't say more. It's a nice question. Keeps our mind in Radha Kunda. You recovered from those papers? The papers didn't knock you out? That's amazing. Wow. There's boing, boing, boing. You're lucky. You didn't have to go through. I lived through all those things. I lived through all those things. And lived under all those misconceptions and preached those misconceptions, wrote in my books. Saved a lot of time. Questions? Yes.
Radhe, Radhe. How a manjari serves her guru manjari in the spiritual world.
How a manjari serves her guru manjari?
In the spiritual world.
Well, generally the line of service is traced to Radharani and Krishna. And the guru manjari gives a specific seva to the disciple manjari, whatever you want to say. Guru Saki and disciple Saki, whatever, I don't know. Shishya Saki. She has her own special seva, and she can do any other seva that is required according to the needs of the pastime or whatever. If the word is used in Sanskrit, ingate. Ingate means indication. Radharani maybe moves her eyebrow this way or that way, or just just knowing her heart, that manjari, that Guru Sakhi, or that Guru Sakhi's manjari, will knows the heart already. Because one of the characteristics of a manjari is Bhav Taratmya. Bhav Taratmya, she's one with the Bhav of Radharani, one with the heart of Radharani, one with the Bhav of Radharani. And they say manjari is like a shadow. So there's not much difference between the Guru Sakhi and his disciple. They're both servants of Radharani. On that level, on the level of sadhaka, then there's some separation between Guru and disciple. But on the level of Nitya Lila, they're almost like, they're just Sakhis. They're both Sakhis. They're friends. One Sakhi is Sakhi Priya. So she's a dear one. She's a dear Sakhi. Dear to Radharani, or whatever, dear to the Sakhis. So on the transcendental level, on the level of meditation, the difference between Guru and disciple is less. Because oftentimes you can be alone with Radharani serving, or you can be together with your Guru serving. My Guru's service is Tambo, my service is Chamar. So I'm fanning Radharani, and my Guru Sakhi walks in the mandir with a bunch of Tambo. I said, oh, my Guru, Radharani. She looks at me like, oh, good save, And then goes and gives to Radharani, puts on the table or puts in her hands some tambo, pan, walks out, or stays around, picks up another fan and fans, or takes a fan from me and shows me how to do it better. Guru says, now let me see, like this, go like this, okay. So you work in conjunction, you work alongside. There's a verse in Radharasi, it says, Nitya Sparshve. When will I stay by your side? Nitya Parshve. Parshve means by your side. I'll always eternally stand by your side, Radharani, waiting to do all kinds of services. So the Guru and Guru Shishya are always nearby each other, waiting to do saves, Radharani.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
My friend Vijay Kirtan asked question.
Okay.
Is it possible to, for Manjari to have loving affair with Krishna by Radharani desire?
The question is, can a manjari have intimate amorous affairs with Krishna by Radharani's desire? There are some exceptions like that mentioned in Shastra, but the general tendency of the manjaris, their emotional outlook, because they're not that much interested in Krishna, although they're very attractive. Like some woman may be very attractive, and you're very attracted to that woman, but she's not. Her mind has no interest in you. She's like you're like, wow, She's like, get lost, man. Take a walk. So the manjaris, their aim and objective is Radharani. Their minds and hearts are fixed on Radharani. So they're not there because they're Radha Sneha Adik. They have more affection for Radharani than Krishna. So they radiate. They're very voluptuous and very beautiful and attractive, like Radharani and other Sakhis. A little bit younger. They're also very attractive, but they're not radiating any particular interest in Krishna. They're not radiating any vibration or interest. I want to please your amorous desires. But sometimes Radharani wants to test her manjaris. This is explained in Ujjwal Nilamani about money manjari. Beforehand, one day, Radharani said, Lita Vishakha said, take money manjari and take her to the kunj and arrange for her to enjoy with Krishna. So they brought Krishna to a kunj, and Krishna was waiting in the kunj alone. And Vishakha and Lita took money manjari into the kunj, into the forest, and said, nearby here, Krishna's waiting by himself in the kunj, and it'd be nice if you go and meet with Krishna and offer yourself for his pleasure. She said, no, I'm Radharani's maidservant. I'm not interested in that. No, come on, it doesn't matter. No one's, just us girls here. No one's going to know. Rupa Manjari won't know, Rati Manjari. Your Guru Manjari won't know, who won't tell. But it's Krishna. Krishna is, he's a supreme lover, a supreme enjoyer. Come on, Mani Manjari. No, I sold my soul to Radharani. I don't want. So then they went back. Radharani said, what happened? He said, Mani Manjari flatly refused. We tried to pull her to the kunj. She said no, she ran away. She said, wow, she's really loyal, she's really true. But in Krishna Bhavanamrita, there's also a pastime. I think it's in Madan Leela, afternoon Leela. The Manjaris are arranging for Krishna. They arrange a flower bed for Krishna. And Radharani's outside, not yet come. And somehow, so the Sakhis ran out the door, and they closed the door, and they left inside. Well, left inside of the kunj, there was just Krishna and Manjari and Cupid. And the Sakhis locked the door from outside. So there was a pastime where the Manjaris left alone in the kunj with Cupid and Krishna. Krishna's Kamadev, he's a transcendental Cupid. So if you're alone in the kunj with Krishna, good luck. I don't think you'll be holding on to your brahmachari brata too long. Most handsome, dashing, romantic Casanova in the world, And Lakshmi Devi runs away from Vaikuntha because of attraction to Krishna. She just draws Vishnu, she's massaging Vishnu's feet, she flies down to Vrindavan. She gets a rasa dance and goes, go. So there are instances, but generally they don't have the mentality. Krishna has 300, Ujjwala Nilamani describes as Krishna has 360 types of nayakas, 360 different types of lovers, with different kinds of emotional temperaments, some hot-headed, some hot and cold, some medium, all different kinds of lovers. Variety is more fun, The girl's always submissive. It's so boring. But she's a little feisty and fighting. That's more exciting. So he has 360. So I asked my teacher, is that because in the Hindu New Year there's 360 days? So Krishna has one lover, one for each day? He said, I haven't heard that, maybe possible. We say 365 days, but the Hindu year is 360 days. You want to say something?
Maybe it's degrees. He's a lover from every direction.
Yeah, that's also it.
360 degrees.
There's 360 is an important number. He's a lover from every direction, that's true. Every direction on the planet Earth, people are trying to love Krishna. He's reciprocating with their love. Yetam mam prapadyate tam tajaya vajamiham. Mama vartmanavartante manasya parasarvasya. Any way you want to love Krishna, I'll love you in return. Radha Shyam. Krishna Balaram. What's the temperature? What's the temperature? My thermometer only goes up to 40.
It's 45.
45. Global frying. They say global warming, but it's global frying. Just walk around with a frying pan and sit on it once in a while. Get fried butt. God almighty, it's too hot. 45. Anyway, Macha Svarshasta Konteya, Shika Dukada, Hagava Paino Nicha, Tanta Tiksha Savarta. Any questions? Yes.
Maharaj, Bhagavad Gita 18.63, Krishna is mentioning that Yatha Chasi Tatha Guru, you act according to your wish. And just before, 3-4 verse before that,
1860.
Yes, 1860 is commenting Swabhava Jena Kontya, you act according to your Swabhava and Adhikar. So how to know what Adhikar we have?
Well, 1863, where Krishna says, you Tejasi, all the Tikacharas, Tikakaras, all the acharyas who wrote commentaries, none of them said it means free will. Because your Tejasi means free will. But you only get Satya Sankalpa when you get liberated. When you become, this explained in Sandarbhas, when you become a Mukta Jiva, when you become a Mukta Purush, or become a liberated soul, then you get the power of Satya Sankalpa. Satya Sankalpa means free will. Do whatever you want. You can become a mouse, you can become a bird, you can become a fly, because you're a Mukta Jiva. You go to any other planet, but a regular person doesn't have any free will. So Krishna is joking with him because when he says Yatechasi, Icha means your desire. Do what you want, Arjuna. And 3 verses before that, Krishna says you'll be forced to act according to your sabhav. So there's no free will. It's our sabhav, which is our guna and karma, which forms our samskars, which makes us act in whatever way we act. What's your question?
There's a term called Adhikar over there. So
What?
Adhikar, Swabhava and Adhikar. Act according to your Swabhava and Adhikar. So how to know what is our Adhikar?
The adhikar is just, adhikar means qualification. In other words, the guna and karma of Arjuna is a kshatriya. So his adhikar, he has the qualification to act like a kshatriya because he's trained like one. So your adhikar is what is your talents and abilities that you will utilize to express your guna and sabhav. Your sabhav, your guna and karma. The talents and abilities you have, that's your adhikar. Basically, it's all being done by Krishna. There are 5 factors for every action. And one of them is Deva. Deva is Krishna. Kshetra, that's a verse in Gita. 5 factors of action. Kshetra, Kala, Indriya, Deva, Karma, Kala, Indriya. There's 5 factors of action. One of them is Deva, means super soul, Paramatma. So that's the most important one. If Krishna inspires us to chant Hare Krishna, we chant Hare Krishna. If Krishna doesn't inspire us, we don't chant. He's doing everything. We're just riding along. Hot water, nice. Bliss. Okay, questions. Put your mind off the heat. Ask questions. Yes, sir.
Why does Babaji say that it's enough to read only Pradhana and Prema Bhakti Chandrika by Narottam Das Thakur, but not mention books of Rupa and Raghunath?
Question is, Gorky Shore is purported. I didn't hear him tell. He didn't tell me, but
He said something that to attain Prem, it's enough to.
there's some story. Whether it's true or not, we don't know. There's some story. So generally, we should follow Shastra, not some stories. There's some story that says that someone asked Siddha Gaura Das, how can he attain prema? He said, go down and buy 2 books for 5 paisa, Prem Bhakti Chandriya and Prarthana by Narottam Das Thakur Mahashaya. So why didn't Gaura tell him about the books of the 6 Goswamis? Because if you know those 2 books, Prem Bhakti Chandrika and Prarthana, they are summaries of all the teachings of the Goswamis. So if you study those books with an advanced devotee, you study those 2 books, you'll receive all the teachings in the 6 Goswamis books, because they're all outlined there in those 2 books. On your own, you won't even know that, what I just said. But if you study with a teacher, you'll know that fact. Because the Prem Bhakti Chandri, at the end of the book, what does he say? He says, I have written this book, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has written this book. There's 120 verses in the book. And the last verse he said, I have written this book is written by Lord Chaitanya. So Lord Chaitanya is giving a summary of all the teachings of the 6 Goswamis, because he already taught them summary in Rupa Shiksha and Madhya and Leela and Sanatana Shiksha, Madhya and Leela. He already taught the Goswamis all that they wrote in their books were taught by Lord Chaitanya. And Lord Chaitanya wrote the Prem Bhakti Chandrika. The Prem Bhakti Chandrika is all the Goswamis' teachings, because it's given by the same devotee that gave all the teachings of the 6 Goswamis. You follow my logic? Jai Narottam Das Thakur Mahashaya Ki. Have you read the book? Oh, get out of here. Yeah, where's the cream pie? We should keep a stack of cream pies here. Whop! 1 cream pie. Ice cream pie. Give a little relief, cold pie. It's a very good book. I read it 4 times. I did a class on it also. I'm going to read it again also.
I read it, but I don't get something that inspired me.
Read again.
You read nothing else Babaji's commentaries?
No, without commentary.
You're not going to get anything, Jack. Books without commentaries are like, a plane without wings. You know what I said?
Yeah, playing without wings. I don't.
Books without commentaries like
playing without
plane has no wings, you can't fly, got it? you have engine,
Plane without wings.
airplane without wings. You have an engine in the center, blah, 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 with no wings. You got a kite without a string. How high can you fly a kite without a string? No, you can't go anywhere. Commentaries are necessary. Commentaries are great. Ananda's work is great. You read that book? It's great. I have a soft copy of all these books if you want also. Free. Pirate. Questions? Yeah. Wait. Go ahead.
I want to ask about Rasa Lila.
Which seven manjaris have in this Rasa Lila, in Lila? In detail.
What seva do the manjaris have in Rasa? Grinding chandan with camphor in the summer and with keshar in the winter. Chandan and camphor in the summer, chandan and keshar in the winter. making pon and tumble, making fresh malas for the hair and for the neck, and making flower crowns and flower bodices, because they all get broken up and stuff. Flower malas, and also they take a break in the Rasila to have a picnic. So manjaris have to go pick all kinds of fruits, make mango shakes. Yeah, they have a cooler with ice in it, and milk and everything. Blender, plug in the blender. They have a little handheld blender, you know, like chach, wooden chach thing, you know. You go, it has a thing like this, you know. And they bring that, they handmade milkshake. And they also sing, and they also play musical instruments also. I wrote an article on our website, were the manjaris on the Rasa Leela? That's the first question, are manjaris in Rasa Leela? The answer is yes, manjaris in Rasa Leela. It's in Utkali Cavalry. Rupa Manjari says, Radharani, when will I see Krishna take you away from all the Sakhis in the Rasa Leela? So if Rupa Manjari is seeing Krishna take Radharani away from all the Sakhis, I mean, she's there. In other places, other books, in Ascharya Rasa Prabandha by Prabodhana Saraswati, describes Rasa Leela in a very poetic way. Ascharya Rasa Prabandha. And he describes Sakhis and Manjaris playing musical instruments. No harmoniums. Tambora, sarod, all those traditional instruments. There's some bill they're trying to pass to keep harmoniums out of Sikh temples. There's some in the news. Amritsar, they want to ban no more harmoniums because it's British. That's a funny thing. Nowadays, everyone uses synthesizers. Artificial music. So what do you want to do in Rasa Leela? You're a manjari, what are you going to do in Rasa Leela?
I ask about dancing.
You're going to make sweet balls or what? Okay, you think about it. If Krishna comes to you later and asks you, come to Rasa dance, you better have an answer.
I want to ask you, some instruments have like stick, like some stick.
Do they use any instruments like sticks? You know, some
Garba dance. It's called Garba dance. There's a Garba called Garba. I see paintings like that. I've seen paintings of Hare Krishna doing Garba dance. I've seen Rasa Leela troops doing that also. I can't say. Maybe they do. I don't know. You want to do that? You want to hit Krishna on the head with a stick or what? Save the stick for your husband. That's for Sakarup, not Siddharup. use a stick or Sakarup on your husband, not the Siddharup. Okay. Question. Yeah.
Like most of us here are like children of ISKCON, and in ISKCON is very much emphasized on preaching.
Children of ISKCON. How sweet.
So Christian is a
COI. Koi. Koi.
So question is, what is the place of preaching in the traditional Gaudiya Vaishnava Parivars?
What is preaching in traditional Gaudiya Vaishnava Parivar?
Is emphasized as they're doing this?
Preaching is Sunday satsang. Go to wherever traditional Gaudiya Vaishnava is giving a class, that's his pravachan. Sometimes speaking Bhagavatam, sometimes speaking Goswami Granths, sometimes speaking Ramayana, sometimes speaking Mahabharata. You know, Pundarik Goswami, he's a great, famous Vaishnava, Gaudiya Vaishnava. Goswami from Radha Raman family, Pundarik Goswami. He's a great learned person. He speaks Ramayana Katha, Bhagavad Katha, Ram Katha. So they're just like they speak like everyone else. They don't speak any nonsense Katha. They don't speak any modern, innovative stuff. Everything they speak is from the Goswami's books. That's the only difference. They're not influenced by modern ideas. The difference is when traditional Gaudiya Vaishnavas speak, they always quote the comments of the acharyas. And when modern Gaudiya Vaishnavas speak, generally they bring it to they talk about the subject in the context of the modern world. This is the difference. And that's a distinctive quality of Prabhupada's tikas and commentaries, unlike any, because Prabhupada wrote tikas on all the Bhagavatam. But what makes his tikas different from Ballavacharya, or different from Sanatana Goswami, or different from Vishnu, is that he's always talking about contemporary times, now times. Kamsa, there's so many Kamsa class of men in the world today harassing the Vaishnavas. He brings the ancient teachings to the modern times. So that's why it becomes very appealing. His books are very appealing. They have modern flair. But traditional Gaudiya Vaishnavas, they won't talk about the war in Ukraine. Ukraine and Russia war is like the Kauravas and Pandavas. They won't make these kind of they won't make these kind of bridges, you know. Traditional Vaishnavas will preach on the tattva. They'll explain what the Sanskrit meanings of everything, and all the itihad. They'll explain, analyze the verse from literary viewpoint, from sahitya, from historical viewpoint, itihas, from vyakaran, from grammar, from tattva, siddhanta, and all based on the previous acharyas. Modern Gaudiya Vaishnava preachers are very much mixed up modern news. In their commentaries and classes, it's all about the latest movie stars and sports stars and all the latest news is all mixed up in the Bhagavatam class and Gita class. That's the difference I've noticed myself, being on both sides of the fence. You know, you hear a class this guy, well, I was on Sankirtan, I met this guy. You never hear Pundarik Goswami say, I was out in the parking lot selling these books. This guy came up. You know, they just talk. Jiva Goswami says this, Sridhar Swami says this. They sing some Vrishvasi song. It's different. It's more shastric, less contemporary news and all this stuff. Different style. But preaching means pravachan, means speaking the glories of Krishna. Savai Mana Krishna Vadara. Savai
Mana Krishna Padara.
Vaikuntha Gunara Varnane. Speaking about the glories of Krishna. What does the preacher preach about? One more. Any questions? Net questions? Kite flying. Patanga. Patanga? Yeah, they get those things pretty high in the sky, you know. They love it. They really love it. And they feel like I'm getting somewhere, you know. The kite is like their ego, you know. I'm getting higher and higher and higher. I'm getting up there. Wow, 'cause I'm just a little kid. There's 8 kids in the family. I'm the littlest kid, but my kite is so high. Oh. You can feel the excitement. Their ego is flying with the kite, you know. Feels nice. They feel so happy because they feel like I'm doing something big. I'm way up in the sky. Look how high I am. It's like a sense of accomplishment. I'm climbing, you know, climb. I'm climbing up the ladder of success. What happened? Russian question? What is it?
It's about food, Gurudev. Jai Radhe. As you have already explained about carrots, please tell us about vinegar and greenhouse grown mushrooms as well. Vinegar and mushrooms. Can we use homemade apple cider vinegar that does not contain alcohol? We always use vinegar for canning as a preservative. Vinegar is present in all recipes and it cannot be replaced or omitted there. In our northern latitudes, people always make preparations for the winter to complement the meager winter menu, and they can't do without vinegar. Also, what's wrong with greenhouse mushrooms?
I don't know, greenhouse or blue house or red house, whatever kind
Shyama
of
Vinodini Dasi.
mushrooms are not eaten. They're tamagun. I know there were some ISKCON sannyasis who were proud of the pizza they used to make with mushrooms. But mushrooms are tamasic, they're tamagun, and they're not to be offered to Krishna. Vinegar is also tamagun because it's fermented. And the person says, we use vinegar, vinegar has no alcohol. Vinegar is not vinegar unless it turns to alcohol. The reason vinegar preserves something is because of alcohol content. It's the alcohol in apple. These apples turn to vinegar by a fermentation process. Fermentation process, tamasic. Sometimes doctors prescribe vinegar, apple cider vinegar for people with heart condition. So it's for medicine. You could kind of use it. I wouldn't recommend it, but if you have to, try it. And for food preservation, if it's a matter of life or death, in some places they have to use canned foods and they do all vinegar. You know, survival is the first law of nature. So if you need to make foods with, preserve foods with vinegar, go ahead and do it. What can I say? Because in the Puranas and also Upanishads, it says you can eat anything in times of danger to preserve your life. So there's canning food for the winter, you have to use vinegar. So, okay, use vinegar if you can't use anything else. I thought there's different kinds of ways to can food without vinegar, but I don't know much about that stuff. Canning. We used to can jams and stuff. We didn't use vinegar. We just make it hot and put it in a special jar with a seal on and clamp it down.
That is usually when they try to can some vegetables.
Huh?
When they try to can some vegetables, that they use vinegar, like tomatoes or cucumbers. They try to.
Fruits you don't need vinegar.
No, fruits no. For fruits, the sugar acts as preservatives.
Yeah. It preserves everybody. You live by sugar, you're buried by salt. Usually Hindus were burned up, even Babaji's are all burned up. Sometimes people are buried and they're buried in salt, covered with salt. But most Babajis are burned up. From ashes I am, and I go to ashes, you know. Earth element merged with earth element, air element merged with air, fire with fire. Panchabhuta goes back to Panchabhuta. We collect the Panchabhuta, earth, water, fire, ether, and put it together this body, then we give it back. Fire, all goes back. Dust thou art, and dust thou become. Bible. Dust means bhasma. Bhasma means ashes. Bhumir apo nalo vayu. Bhumir apo nalo vayu. Kamano buddharevacha.
Ahankare yamme.
Ahankare yamme. Vina prakadashita? You? You have ahankara? No, not you. You just have earth, air, water, fire. Okay, what happened?
There are two more questions.
Wait. I'm going to teach you some tricks after class. And you too. Okay, Radha, what time is it? 5:55?
5:25.
Oh, God. Okay, right. Okay, what happened here? Question.
Dauji is asking a question.
Jai Jauji.
Matra Sparshasta Kaunteya. Krishna's good at that verse.
Yeah, we're all trying to realize that verse today.
This is just verses, there's no question. There's no question.
Happiness and distress.
Are you sharing the verse?
No, he just
It's
quoting
common.
the
Okay,
verse.
so
He's not asking the question.
okay, there is no. It's
Goofball. Mr. Joker. Madamangal's little brother. Nandi Mukhi.
We got
Curly hair.
Ganapati is asking question.
What's up? Get a pati wacha. Bolo got a pati.
In Bhagavatam, first canto, 8th chapter, first sloka, it is said that there is a rule that women should go in front during the funeral rites. What is the reason?
Women should what?
Women should go in front during the funeral rites.
Women should go in a. What?
Go in front during the funeral rites.
In front.
Women should go in front. Okay. Women should go in front during the funeral rites while carrying.
So what's the question?
What is the reason?
The question is, women should go in front of dead body. What my experience in India, women don't go anywhere when there's a dead body. Women stay home. The men all put the body on a stretcher and they go down the street and say, Ram Nam Satya, Ram Nam Satya, Ram Nam Satya. The name of Ram is the only truth. Satya means truth. It's a little late now, but this guy's death should remind everyone else to take the Ram Nam before you end up over here with us, going to the cremation ground. Ram Nam Satya, Ram Nam. Because I lived in Vrindavan for 3 years in Sevakunj, Radha Damodar Mandir. And they say that so people don't come outside their house also. Because if you're going the opposite way, it's auspicious. If you're going the direction of the dead body, it's inauspicious. So generally they say, Ram Nam, oh, somebody's died. Because they all go by Radha Damodar. They go to Yamuna for burning. So when you hear Ram Nam Satya, then you sit down. Jai Shri Ram, 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 Ram 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 Ram. Then you wait 5 minutes, then take a deep breath, Jai Shri Ram, then go out your way. I don't know about that question. That's a typical Ganapati type question. Usually we ask questions that have some relevance to our sadhana bhajan. what the women are going to do after you die. What are you worried about? What women after you die? What the women do? They jump for joy. Or who knows what they do? Bhagavatam said, I can't comment on that. I don't remember. I don't know about that verse. I can't comment. What we've seen is women don't go to the cremation ground, and they don't walk behind a dead body. That's what I've seen in India in the last 35 years. So I don't know about that verse. Interesting verse. Ram Nam Satya. Any other questions? Yeah.
I want to know what is the difference between the Nitya Seva of Manjari and all other sevas that she do during the days. Because we see that in Virapaksu Manjari that Raghunatha Dasa Goswami desire to do many seva to Radharani, and she, Tulsi Manjari, has even her Nitya Seva. So what is the difference between the Nitya Seva and other sevas that the Manjari do during Astaka?
What's the question?
What is the difference between the Nitya Seva of a Manjari and...
A Manjari, there's something... When one gets to the pranay, the Guru gives a particular, one individual seva to the Manjari. Charan seva, Tambul seva, Shringar seva, Chamar seva, many Tilak seva, many sevas can be there. Then during the course of different leelas, if the Manjari is not doing that particular service, she can do any other seva. Manjari is all rounder. She can do every seva. Because she gets trained in sevas, and Savali Raghunath Das Goswami explains how the Manjari goes to Radharani and learns how to play veena, how to tell riddles, how to write dramas, how to write plays. And she goes to Vishaka and learns how to joke, and goes to Chitra and learns how to paint. And so she goes to different sakis and gets trained in different kalas, different arts. So at the end of the day, she knows 64 arts. She can make nice paintings. She can translate into different languages. She can speak Russian to the Russian birds, and Brijbasi to the Brijbasi birds, and speak philology to the philology birds. Manjaris, because in some place they talk about seva and agya, but in our Siddhanta, seva and agya are rolled into one. Bhaktivinoda Thakur makes a separate category, agya. Agya means order for seva, but seva in our Siddhanta, seva means has two branches: your individual eternal seva and any particular seva required.
The Manjaris, you say that the Manjaris learn some specific art from all the Astasaki. So, Lalita would teach to the Manjaris, Vishaka would teach.
That's in Savali by Raghunath Das Goswami. I forget the name of the poem, but it's described there. I can bring it next week and describe it.
Thank you very much.
How are the kites doing? No kites?
No kites.
Nice.
Oh, there is one kite. It's there. Two were there earlier, one is gone.
Yeah, they play a game. They get crushed glass.
Yes.
And they put glue on. They put glue on their thread. They put crushed glass. Then when the rope, they try to pull their kite near your kite. And when the string of their kite hits yours, it cuts your kite because it has glass powder on it. And your kite goes. Yeah, it's always this maniac mentality is there everywhere. Destroy, destroy. This is Kali Yuga. Everyone's figuring out how to destroy the other person. Put down the other person, destroy the other person. He's no good, she's no good. You're no good, you're no good. I'm no good, I'm no good. Questions? Hello, sir. You have a question?
How can I tell if I'm attracted to specific pastimes, maybe sexual and Katha or something? How can I tell if I'm attracted from an authentic position or just because I have like whatever human karma I have in this body? How do I know if the attraction is coming from the body I have or the soul?
Can anyone amplify what he says? I can't hear very well. I'm a little deaf.
How can we say if the attraction is coming from our prakriti or is it from the soul? Attraction for the pastimes in Bhagavatam. When we read.
If we have attraction for Krishna's pastimes,
Is it coming from the level of our body or prakriti or is it in the level of the soul? How can we distinguish between them?
what is it? If we have attraction for the pastimes, is it coming from our body or from our soul? It's coming from neither. It's not coming from your soul, it's not coming from your body. The attraction for the pastimes is coming from your samskaras. Samskaras are part of your chitta. Samskaras are impressions from last life. Samskaras are inclinations which cause us to be attracted to, they cause raga and dvesh. They cause attraction and repulsion. Attraction and liking for something, or dislike and distraction or repulsion. It's called samskaras. The raga and dvesh. So the attraction for Krishna's pastimes is not coming from the body or coming from the soul. It's coming from our chitta. From our chitta means our stored samskaras from our experiences last life. Last life you had some association with Krishna's pastimes, and now you're attracted in this life. That's good. Hear more about Krishna's pastimes and read more about Krishna's pastimes. It's very healthy for your spiritual development. Don't worry about where the attraction is coming from. Thank your stars and thank God if you have attraction for Krishna's Leela. That's your good fortune. That's a blessing from somewhere, somehow you got it. Katha is called Katha Ruchi. Katha Ruchi really usually comes from Vaishnava Seva. So you did Vaishnava Seva in last life or this life. As a result of that Vaishnava Seva, they bless you with Katha Ruchi. Ruchi means taste, attraction, interest in Katha, and specifically Leela Katha. So you're lucky. Don't offend Vaishnavas. They may lose that luck. Okay? Squirrels. We got a lot of squirrels here. Anybody want to take a squirrel home? We got 35 squirrels here. We got big ones, we got little ones, we got little baby ones this big. Monkey shook the tree the other day, came, broke a bunch of branches. And out came about 20 squirrels came flying out of the tree. They knocked this big nest all piece of blankets and everything. And the monkey went, he landed the tree, broke all the branches, and the nest came flying down on the ground, and 20 squirrels went flying all over the place. They know what I was doing, they were picking up the piece of nest and putting it back up the tree. It was really funny to watch. They gathered in the tree. They go like this. They ball it into a thing and then they go up the tree. The whole thing was about this big. about the big thing like this, flat on the ground. There were like 20 squirrels inside. They all came waking up. They're part of the family here. Any more questions? God, questions? Yeah.
Maharaj, we see that Bhagavatam is full of prayers like Kunti Stuti, Bhish Stuti. So Krishna is fulfilling the desires of his devotees. On the other hand, we see that devotees who are chanting Hare Krishna or asking Radha Krishna for their services in the Nikunj, or to praying to Guru and to Tulsi Maharani that to please engage us in the intimate pastimes of Radha and Krishna. And on the other end, the same devotees, a few devotees are worshipping Krishna, Balram and Narsimha also. They have close attraction for them. So where will they go after completing this life? Because if they are asking Radha Krishna for the services, so they should go to Radha Krishna, and they have attraction for Narsimha Bhagwan also. They're listening his pastimes and Krishna Balram also. So, and they are praying early morning by doing Hare Krishna Mahamad that please engage me in your service, and Radha Krishna is in Nikunjas. So this is like...
Well, since they're confused about their desire, Krishna is also confused about how to reward them. Until one becomes ekanta, Krishna can't really figure out what's on your mind. You have to become, we talk about ekanta bhakta. Ek ishtadev, ek sadhana, ek ishta, ek abhishta. So one worships Nrsingadev, likes Nrsingadev, worships Gaudiya Vaisnava, worships Jagannath, worships Radha Krishna. That's all very good and helpful, but it's not very focused. Generally, the Srinath Chakravarti's prayer, Radha Bhagavad, we're supposed to worship Krishna and Vrindavan like the gopis. That's it. There's no room for anybody else. We got one Siddhanta in Vrindavan to worship Radha Krishna and Vrindavan as gopis. This is the main thing taught in Gaudiya Vaishnava. There's one verse in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, verse Chaitanya says, I came to make the three worlds dance in the four rasas. That's one verse, but there's 2,000 verses where he talks about gopis. It's all about gopis and Krishna and gopis, Radha Krishna. And the Paribhasa Sutra, hey. Paribhasa Sutra, Chaitanya Charitamrita is Adi Lila, chapter 1, verse 4. 114. Anarbhita Chaitra says, Una Utala Rasa. Lord Chaitanya is come to teach amorous love. This is the Paribhasa Sutra. What is Paribhasa Sutra? Paribhasa Sutra means this sloka defines the whole meaning, purpose and meaning of the whole book. It's a nutshell verse. What is the Paribhasa Sutra of the Bhagavatam? Paribhasa Sutra of Bhagavatam is Canto 1, Chapter 3, verse 28. Ete cham sakalam pamsa Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. Injariva kule Mridyanti Yuge Yuge. The Krishnas, all these avatars I just mentioned, the sum total original avatar of all avatars is Swayam Bhagavan Sri Krishna. 1:328. That's the Paribhasa Sutra of the Bhagavatam. What's the Paribhasa Sutra of Bhakti Rasa Sindhu? Mangala Charana, verse number 11. What is verse number 11? Anya vilashita shinyam jnana karmadyanavritam anuklayena krishnanu shila bhakti uttama. This is the definition of pure bhakti, and the whole Bhakti Rasa Sindhu expands upon that one verse. So that's the Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhakti Rasa Sindhu. What's the nutshell verse of Srimad Bhagavad Gita? Manmana bhavamad bhakto madhyajino namaskru mame vaishyasi satyante pratijane priyosime. 1861, 934, the same verse. Love Krishna, surrender to Krishna. So these are the key verses, and all the other verses define and expand upon that meaning. So, what was the question?
So I was asking, where will they go after the completion?
Where will they go? God knows where they go. You better ask Krishna. That's too big. That's a question for God. Because Krishna says in Gita, you worship the ghosts and spirits, you go to the ghosts and spirits. Worship the Pitris, you go to Pitris. Worship the Devas, go to Devas. Worship me, you go to me. Yanti Deva Rata Devan Pitri Yanti Rati Rita Bhutani Yanti Bhuteja Yajimam Yanti Nopimam or whatever. Yanti. You go. So you worship Krishna, you go to Krishna. I know that much. I'm worshiping Radha Krishna. I want to be a gopi. I'm going to Radha Krishna Vas. Where you go, I don't know. But it seems like they got too many ideas of worship. Too many upasyas and too many upasanas. You have to have one upasya, one upasana. One goal and one method of worship. The goal is to bring Seva Radharani and Kunjas of Vrindavan as a manjari, and the way of that is Rag Marg and Manjari Bhav Gopi Bhav, Bhas Hogya, or Kuch. What else? Everybody else, Satnam, Pranam, Om Tat Sat. Satnam, Pranam, Om Tat Sat. Thanks a lot. There's so many ways, many men, many minds. Lord Chaitanya, all his followers, they just talk Gopi Bhav. What's the big problem, man? Where's the Shringa come in the picture? Chaitanya Maharaj went to the Jagannath temple every day. He walked out 22 steps to Anand Bazaar, and there's a temple of Lord Nrsimhadev there. And he saw the temple of Lord Nrsimhadev. What did Lord Chaitanya do? He said, Namaste Narsingaya Pralada Lada Dayane Ranyakashi Purvaksha Shilatam Kanakalaye Ito Nishingo Parato Nishingo Yato Yamita Nishingo Bahir Nishingo Ridae Nishingo Nishingamadim Sharanam Pravade Jai Nishingo. Went Jagannath, Pradanandan Shamasundar. But every day, it says Chaitanya Charitamrita, every day you offer that prayer to Sringadev. And the devotees in New York in 1968, they're calling the temple and say, we're going to kill your guru, blow up your temple. They're getting phone calls to New York. They said, Prabhupada, what we can do? Guys said they're going to blow us up and kill the guru and blow up the temple. Well, Lord Chaitanya chanted this prayer in Sringadev. So you can chant that prayer to protect the guru. So that's how the Nrsimhadev prayer started. How did Nrsimhadev become an Ishtadev in ISKCON? The Muslims attacked the Gaudiya Vaisnava temple yoga pit, and Bhakti-Vilas Tirtha Maharaj talked to some tantrics and babas and other leading Vaishnavas of what to do to protect our temple. He said, in the back of your temple somewhere installed the Lakshmi Nrsimha. So he saw behind the yoga pit, Nat Mandir, there's a temple of Gauragadhar and Lakshmi Narayan. Nrsimha and Lakshmi Nrsimha. So after they made that temple, no more problems. So in 1983, ISKCON got attacked by dacoits. They stole Radharani, broke Radharani, had to get a new Radharani deity. And then the temple in charge, the sannyasi in charge, so what to do? They installed Nrsimha Mandir. In Germany, all the demons are attacking the temple, blowing up the temple. So they installed the Nrsimha temple in Germany. There's two places in ISKCON Nrsimha's worship, Germany and Mayapur, but not during Prabhupada's time. Prabhupada installed Radha Madhav, Kunja Bihari. First deity Prabhupada saw was Mahaprabhu and Radha Govinda in Calcutta. Then he went to Mayapur the first day and saw his Mahaprabhu and Radha Madhav. He went to New York, he was going to install Mahaprabhu. He saw these Jagai Madais in East Village. He said, "Oh, we better call in Gaur Nitai. These are all the party bars, the Jagai Madai party bar here. And the only hope for them is Nitai. Mahaprabhu is too esoteric. Rasaraj Mahaprabhu. Rasaraj Sri Krishna and Mahabhavati Radharani is Rasaraj Mahaprabhu. It's too esoteric for American malicious and Yavanas. So Gaur Nitai became the worship. First it was paintings. Everybody's content had a painting of Panchatattva. Radharani made 50 paintings of Panchatattva. And Panchatattva became Gaur Nitai. I was the temple president for Gaur Nitai Temple in Baltimore, 1982 to 86. We only had Gaur Nitai. Now they have many deities there. Gaur Nitai. Nitai Gaur Sundar. Prabhupada was in Washington, D.C., about an hour away. They showed him a picture of these Gaur Nitai deities in 1976, July 4th. He said, "It's very beautiful. Let's go see them. I want to see them." He said, "Prabhupada, it's 10 o'clock at night." I said, "Oh, okay, we'll go tomorrow morning." So next morning he went there. There's a picture of Prabhupada taking darshan deities. I got that picture. I made a copy of it, put it in the temple room. I was temple president. Prabhupada saw a picture. "Oh, the very beautiful deities," because he'd never been there before. "I want to see these deities." He says, 10 o'clock at night, Prabhupada. Deities are sleeping. "Oh, okay, first thing tomorrow morning." Gaur Nitai Ki Jai. I think that's it. Any more questions?
Online?
Yeah, online. No, here's offline.
What's about these deities? I saw some devotee who is not initiated, but on his altar he has Narsimha, Shilas, Gaur Nitai, Radha Krishna. Is any benefit from such deity service if you are not initiated by Guru? Or maybe is any danger from this kind of worship?
Okay. Somebody's not initiated, but he's worshiping deities. Is he worshiping Shalagram?
Shalagram, Narsimha, Shalagram there, Giriraj is there, Gaur Nitai is there, Radha Krishna, Jagannath, and maybe somebody else.
The uninitiated person, he can worship Gaur Nitai or Jagannath, but Shalagram he shouldn't worship, and Giriraj he shouldn't worship. You should get into some other initiated devotee. Devotees in San Francisco, 1967, they found a little Murti of Jagannath in the Emporium store. And they bought the Prabhupada, and then they made big Jagannath, Balaram, and Subhadra. But all the devotees went and bought a little Jagannath, they put it around their neck and put a screw in his head. Put a screw in his head to make a necklace. They're all walking around little Jagannath deities. Just Jagannath. Prabhupada said, "That's not nice, but a screw in Jagannath's head. Think of a different way to do it." So they made it a different way. So all the devotees were walking around with little Jagannath deities around their neck. But generally, according to Shastra, you should be initiated in mantras by Guru, Bija mantras, and Gopal mantras do puja. But especially Shalagram and Govardhan shouldn't be done if you're not initiated.
Is any reaction can come to the person from this thing?
Yeah, definitely. It's a big aparat to worship Shalagram without having proper Diksha mantras. Thank you, Raj. Because they're directly Krishna. They'll need installation. The other deities may not be even there, you know. Jagannath, Gaudiya not even there. He thinks they're there. They're there. Oh, no, maybe. Can't say. I don't know. Any last question? Net question? Okay. Off net question?
Please, can you speak about Sri Upanishad? Because I read this book, and even when I studied this book in ISKCON before, but I have to say that I have not really understand this book. I don't understand why is it very important, what is the essence of the Sri Upanishad. I don't know why, but I can't really enter or understand this book. So if you please can explain something about it.
You should get Upanishad with the commentaries printed by Radha Swami. You have that one?
Yes, I read that book, but I don't.
Bana Swami.
Yes, yes.
Well, the most important verse is the invocation verse. Om Purnam Adam Purnam Adashte. Study that verse and memorize that verse. That's very helpful. Understand how everything comes from Krishna, everything's perfect coming from Krishna. Just that one verse is most important. The whole book is very important, but try to understand that one verse. Om Purnam Purnamadam Purnamadashte Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamivavasishte. That's very important. That's it, huh? Okay. That's all. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri